Drafts in sport are supposed to be a balancing factor, making sure the worst teams at the end of each season have the ability to pick the best young players. Its goal is to create a cycle of new contenders every few years, but also reward teams that can find hidden gems or players in the later picks. The AFL draft is unique, with academy players and father-sons being thrown in the mix. It allows clubs access to certain players, but does force them to pay up still, needing a value of draft points to match a bid. Every draft selection is worth a point value. For example, pick 1 is worth 3,000 points, so to match a bid at this selection, a club will need to gather a multitude of picks equal to 3,000 points and then swap them for that player. The picks swapped in move back normally into the 80s and 90s and are never normally used. But is this system fair? The father-son connections with clubs is a great story. However, in recent years, it has been questioned. The academy rules instantly changed after Jamara Ugle-Hagan was taken pick 1 by the Bulldogs with his NGA connection. From 2021 onwards, next generation academy players could not be matched in the top 20, allowing clubs to pick them freely. It went even a step further in 2022, and the marker is now set at pick 40. It's the father-son and club academy aspect that is yet to change and has the greatest impact over the current competition. It's been the last decade where the father-son and academy players selected have highlighted the imbalance in the draft. So many of them have been first round picks with high potential, and out of that group, the majority are very good AFL players right now. Between 2005 and 2013, just 3 players that were father-son or academy players were selected in the top 20. It's important to note the introduction of the club academies, which are only for the New South Wales and Queensland clubs, were implemented in 2010. From this point onwards, the boom began, and it's not slowing down. From 2013 to 2022, the number has risen from just 3 taken in the top 20 to 23. With the NGA now limited, this number should slightly decline over the next few drafts, but it shows how the father-son and club academies have infiltrated the top-end talent. Current day football has some of the best examples of how these picks have shaped the competition. Let's look at the Premier's Collingwood. 4 of their critical players were matched bids. Obviously the Dacos brothers have been life changers, especially Nick. He fell to pick 4 as everyone knew the Pies would match a bid, but if he was freely available, there is no way North Melbourne wouldn't have selected him at pick 1 or the Giants at pick 2. His brother Josh fell to pick 57, so Collingwood would have been a good chance to pick him up without the rule. However, Captain Darcy Moore, who was pick 9, originally bidded on by the Western Bulldogs in 2014, would not be at Collingwood without the father-son, and under NGA rules they were able to grab Isaac Quaynor at pick 13 in 2018 as well, who Adelaide originally bidded on. Because Josh Dacos was a higher pick, he can stay, but if in theory you take away Nick Dacos, Quaynor and Moore, do the Pies win the flag in 2023? It's not a criticism of Collingwood, but when compared to teams like Hawthorn, Fremantle, North Melbourne and others who haven't been able to get many players from this system, it shows the disparity between being lucky and unlucky. Collingwood is an extreme example, but those 4 picks may have been the difference between a grand final win and an elimination final loss. But there's countless more players who have been taken within the bid matching system that are stars right now or have the potential to be. The Bulldogs have been big beneficiaries, snatching Ugle-Hagan, Sam Darcy, and will again get a top 15 prospect in Jordan Croft as a father-son. Sydney's academy has loaded them with top tier players in Errol Goulden, Callum Mills, Isaac Heaney, Nick Blakey and Braden Campbell. Brisbane last draft got access to Will Ashcroft and Jasper Fletcher, who both clearly are on their way to play 200 games plus. These are only a few names on a list that is continuing to grow. So what will happen in the future with these processes? It seems generally accepted that the father-son rule is unfair. Dacos and Ashcroft are great recent examples, as both should be running around for other clubs. But it's the sacrifice made to keep tradition in the competition and families connected to clubs. It's hard to see it going away anytime soon, and it will be an aspect of the draft that is unequal in theory, but important for heritage, with the latter the AFL's main concept in implementing the rule. No doubt questions will at least be put forth soon about the club academy picks. We know the AFL wants the game to spread in New South Wales and Queensland, so it gives clubs the ability to attract athletes and develop them. There have been so many of late that are top echelon players, and although the clubs give up the points needed, it's really a bargain in the scheme of things when it comes to guys like Mills, Tom Green and Jasper Fletcher. Sydney specifically have a fantastic culture and sustained success. Their academy is a big part of this. We may soon see the club academies follow suit with the NGA and allow bids to only come outside of the top 20 or 30. It's a fascinating point in the entire draft system's history. More than ever, certain clubs are benefiting from it while others are not. We could just be in a strange period where a large percentage of father-sons and academy players are good, or it may be the beginning of serious talk around limiting their impact on the draft and influence in the competition.